This is a brief overview of the Grid Lab for faculty and staff and others who have heard about it and are curious to learn more about what the Grid Lab is and what it has to offer to the Ohio University community and beyond. So first of all, what is it? What does GRID stand for? GRID stands for Game, Research, and Immersive Design, spelling out GRID. It is part of the J. Warren McClure School of Emerging Communication Technologies and the Scripps College of Communication at Ohio University. It is located in the Schoonover Center at Ohio University. At the Grid Lab, if you've heard anything about it, you may have some awareness that it does things related to media, mixed media, multimedia, virtual reality, but they do so much more than that and in really dynamic ways. So some different types of projects that they can do with collaborators include virtual reality, animation, games, alternate reality, but more than this. And the photo included is one of their studio spaces showing a project in action. So there's a lot of opportunity. Did you know, because I didn't, that the Grid Lab has had 12 companies launched from its kind of group of resources and tools and support, and also 25 projects that have been funded and managed since the lab launched in 2004. That's awesome. And that this fall, a virtual reality and game development major launched for undergraduate students at Ohio University that will be heavily supported through Grid Lab experiences for students. Very cool. And here are some examples of news coverage for the Grid Lab. I think this is really helpful to get an idea of how have people actually been working with this beyond projects and programs within the McClure School or within kind of existing Grid Lab programming. So this is an example of kind of what they're known for. So the first one I'm featuring here is about the Business of Games Summit, which is an annual program that the Grid Lab is a co-host for that highlights gaming as an industry. So the intersection of gaming, sports, media, business, and entrepreneurship. So this is really awesome. The article that I highlighted here relates to the Business of Games Summit still happening virtually during the pandemic, and I know they've already announced their date for 2022. So that's a really awesome program happening through the Grid Lab. Some other great examples of programs that the Grid Lab has been part of in the past. Here are two examples related to healthcare. The first is the Grid Lab offering virtual reality experiences to help healthcare workers manage their well-being during the pandemic. And then the second is healthcare training for providers in Appalachia related to the use of virtual reality. So working with both state and university partners to prepare all different kinds of personnel to work with the public and the types of encounters that are realistic or common in the area related to health needs. So that's a quick snapshot of what the Grid Lab has to offer. They have a ton of really dynamic technology, creative and innovative staff and students eager to kind of learn and push the innovation envelope forward and continue to lead in all of these spaces at Ohio University and beyond.